Right, today we're going to be working with some herbs. I found all these beautiful cleavers growing in the greenhouse today, and I was absolutely delighted. I was waiting for the ones outside to grow, but found these instead. So I'm going to take you along with me today while we do some herb work. We're going to make both a tincture and dry some herbs for tea. So for tincture, you need a herb, a jar, and some rum. So in this case, it's just regular 37.5% volume rum. And when you're finished, the tincture will look like this. This is the finished product. See, it's taken on all the colour of the herbs and all the goodness. So I'm going to reuse this jar today. So I have my bottle here is more or less empty. So we're going to fill it up with the last of last year's batch. So there we go. See, it's just amazing how the white rum takes on that colour of the herb. Now, there we go, that's all clearly labelled already. So there we go. And then to take it then, we have these little dropper bottles. So as always, look up for yourself to make sure that you can have cleavers and that you're 100% happy with taking them. I use cleavers for clearing the lymph system after you've had a cold. They're great to help with that. So for tincture, you just take the herb. Just take the herb. And this couldn't be easier. Into the jar it goes. Now this is you might have to break it up sometimes if it was a different kind of herb. The cleavers are fine. So there we go. It's pushed down, but not pushed down too much. The whole jar. Fully, shall we put a bit more in? There we go. Now, then you simply take your rum and fill up the jar. It couldn't be simpler. The only complicated thing in this is writing the label. So keep filling all the way up. And I do have enough. Right the way to the brim. Now normally, I forgot my stick. We'll go round with the stick all the way around just to make sure all the bubbles are out. Put on your lid. And then I use masking tape as a label. I have this one written already. I'll just rip it off here. And on camera, hopefully it all comes off in one go. It hasn't. But there you go. What can I say? So here's the label. And on the label, you put obviously what it is, which is Cleavers, and the liquid that it's in, which in this case is rum. I'll obviously have to do a new label afterwards. So we have Cleavers, and it's 37.5% rum. And then you put today's date and the date again in 8 weeks' time, because this gets left in the jar for 8 weeks. So clearly on the lid, we have Cleavers in 37.5% rum. Today's date, which is 23rd of March, in 8 weeks' time, will be the 18th of May. And then this will be ready. So what you do then is through a strainer or a sieve, pour the liquid out through, discard the herb, and you will have that lovely brownish green liquid as your tincture, which then you store in a dark bottle like these, and you can leave them out. Now this, because it's a clear jar, will have to be left in the cupboard out of the sun, because the sun will leach all the medicines, but I like to use them in clear jars like this stage so you can quite clearly see what's happening. So there you have it. I don't see how that could be easier, to be honest. Tinctures are one of the easiest things to make. So there we have it. Now we'll have a look at our tea. Just clear away. Now here's the Cleavers from last year, and we can see and hear how dry these are. See? Very, very dry. but I only have a bit left. Again, you can hear the dryness. So, herbs can be dried in many ways. I normally use a dehydrator. I'll just move these out of the way. So, you can dry these. I mean, you can just hang them upside down in a warm place. They will dry themselves very quickly. The Cleavers will anyway. So I do it in the dehydrator. We just spread them out. Like so. Couldn't be easier. Just spread them out a bit. I mean, they don't have to be a single layer because there's it's light material. The heavier material would have to be a single layer. We can even fit a bit more here. Now, there we go. Tray full. I mean, it's quite packed. So however many trays you have, however many herbs you have, fill them up. And for the dehydrator, I normally dry it about 55 degrees Celsius. These will probably take about 6 hours. But I mean, all appliances vary. So I normally just run the machine and just keep an eye. And when they're dry, take them out and store them in your jar. So Cleavers you can add to any herbal tea. And like I said, they're great for draining the lymph system after you've had an infection or a cold or whatever. But it's not medical advice. Check this out for yourself. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.